In a world of mystery and magic, danger lurks behind every turn and terrible threats lurk in the shadows, unseen by everyone. In the Savras Archipelago, the Windjammer, Maeve Lamborn, needs to land a new patron in the worst way. Low on supplies and desperately needing the armaments to survive the Descensian threat, she's willing to take any job. A mysterious stranger offers her a simple task for a huge payout: retrieve a stolen relic. She jumps at what sounds like easy money to refit and restock her ship. Then she discovers the easier the job, the more it might get them all killed. Check out the Shadow Phoenix saga on ProjectShadow.com. New episodes every Tuesday.
Hello, long time no see, or hello for the first time, whichever the case may be. My name is Charlie. I am a non-binary sci-fi fantasy writer, and we're going to be doing some of the productivities today because, yeah, I need to be productive. And for some reason, broadcasting my shame on the internet when I am not is actually a good motivator for me to actually be productive. So that's what we're doing today. I am fortunately not alone. I am joined by the wonderful, the amazing Megan McCarthy.
Hello.
Oh my, it's been a day already, and it's only noon here, which feels weird. Ugh. Hello, Cool Gamer. Hello, Spence.
Hello.
How are y'all doing? Yeah, it feels really weird. I feel like I'm fighting inertia so hard today because my brain keeps telling me, no, we don't stream for another couple hours. That I'm used to not starting my streams until, 4 o'clock my time. So like literally in 4 hours from now. But because we have the Valheim stream tonight, and I want to have a break between this and the Valheim stream, we are doing it a bit early. And since I'm usually awake, if not able to participate in Jules' streams, I thought it was a good time slot to kind of slip into. How has everybody been doing? I've missed doing the streamings. I hope everyone is well.
I'm doing pretty good, at least. I just had the Simply brand peach drink beverage, and it tastes like a fresh peach is just like in your cup. It's amazing. And I don't know how they get it to taste so peachy every single time. It's like fruit is not this delicious every single time you have a piece of fruit. How do they do this?
I'm gonna have to check and see if we can get that around here, because that is, peaches are one of my absolute favorite things in the world, and I would love to
pick up the peach one. I also recommend, if you have it, picking up the watermelon one as well, because that one is also like really good. So refreshing. It's perfect for, especially as the weather is warming up. It's like, this is the time to have it.
Today is weird weather for us. We were in the 30s and 40s yesterday. It's already in the mid 70s here. Nervous laughter because, weather is on its way. But yeah, it already has that vibe of like, I need some watermelon, a mint julep, and a rocking chair out on the deck. Oh, wait, I have a rocking chair out on the deck. I just need a watermelon and a mint julep. It'll all be good. Maybe some chartreuse. But that's just because I'm going to become one of those people when I get older. I know it. Ooh.
Technically, Spence, you don't have to show your face. You can do this. Ta-da!
Because trust me, I have all of the anxieties thereabouts, which is why I normally show up like this. I know people are probably surprised at seeing this, especially since in videos I've been using the animated avatar for them. Have not figured out how to do that live yet. Don't know that I would use it live. It's more when I have to edit.
I might be a little creeped out if you tried it live. I'd be like, this is too weird. I can't deal. It looks like you, but it's not you, but it's you, but it's not you.
See, that's kind of the point, though, with my dysphoria. a lot of that's based off of this. Like mirrors and I do not get along. So editing a video is nightmarish.
Yeah.
It's just anxiety and depression for the soul. And so that's why I've been using it. I am going to try recording some videos going just, this is what it is. I'm not editing them and do this part again. But anytime, if I have to edit,
yeah,
it's hard enough for me hearing my own voice sometimes, because that's one of my other dysphorias. And it's weird because I finally actually have my voice close to where I want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if anyone has listened to any of the old podcasts, and you know what my born voice sounds like. This is very different from where I started, but it's still, I don't know. It's that problem of, in my head I sound the way I want to sound, but when I hear the playback, it doesn't sound so right. I still have some work to do so that the voice outside my head sounds like the voice inside my head, if that makes any sense, with the resonance chambers and all that stuff.
I do not like listening to myself when I hear myself speak on other things, because I'm just like, this sounds so wrong.
I actually heard someone use that the other day to try to explain to cis people what dysphoria feels like. And I think it's actually a pretty good example of that, because you're sure, like, no, this is who I am, this is what I sound like, this is what I'm like, and then you hear your own voice, especially for the first time, you're like, but that's not, I'm talking right now and I can hear what I sound like, and it's not like that. What? Yeah. And I think it's a fairly good analogy. So if you noticed from the intro there, I'm doing a podcast for the Shadow Phoenix saga. There are, I think, is it 4 or 5 episodes? I don't know, 4 I think are out.
I think you just came out with the 4th.
Yeah, I'm a little bit ahead when it comes in what's scheduled, so that's where I'm having a hard time remembering, like, how many are out. But so that's what I'm going to be working on today, because I'm trying to get all of it done and in the box, so that no matter what's going on in life, it'll run and I won't miss a week, especially since I'm promising an every Tuesday release. So I'm going to be working on that, but I will also probably be writing some today, because a lot of working on the podcast is waiting on things to export, which is always so fun. It's like my favorite thing. So while exports are happening, I will be pulling out my wonderful Remarkable 2 tablet and doing some writings in there. I absolutely love this thing. This is not sponsored, but hey, Remarkable people, want to give me money? I will definitely take it, because you've taken a lot from me. No, I actually ordered they just released a case that connects onto it to give you keyboard.
Oh, nice.
To type on, because...
Yeah, I saw that they've been showing me ads since I've been looking at them longingly.
Yeah, staring at a bright glowing box all day is not very good for my eyes, and probably not for anyone's eyes. And I love working on this thing. And while the handwriting recognition works really well, there are some things that I have to do where they want so many typed pages, because people are bad about giving me word counts to shoot for. So I need to type for those things, and being able to type on this. It does have an on-screen keyboard,
but that's like so hard to use.
It's also an e-ink display, so there's a bit of a lag in when you hit the key and when it changes color to tell you that you've hit the key. And so I find myself adding that lag to my typing speed, and it really slows me down. But which is weird, because when you're handwriting with it, that lag is not there. And I think it's because I think the way that they do the pixel changes, because it's got to change a larger block for the keys when you're doing the typing, maybe that makes it take longer. I I don't know, but love this thing. I have been writing way too much since I've gotten it. And I just, yeah. And that's what I am doing today.
Ooh, Spence is going to work on a Substack post and then bullet journal. It's supposed to be Arts and Crafts Thursday, and I finally have enough of my chores done to have room to do creative stuff. Nice.
So I'm going old school. I'm very happy. I have a craft again, kind of. It'll be here soon. I bought a wood burning kit.
Ooh,
because
fun.
I used to do that a lot when I was younger.
Mhm.
And I don't know why I stopped. Like, it wasn't one of those things where I was like, I don't like this anymore. Or like, all the cool kids think the wood burning sucks, so I'm not doing it. I don't know. I just stopped doing it.
Mhm.
And there's actually what's getting me to do it again is I was reading one of the more recent books by John Michael Greer. I want to is it the I'll look this up real quick because I'm going to say the wrong name of the book. The Druid Path, a modern tradition of natural spirituality. And in that book, he has a divination kit that he talks about that this guy came up with in the 1700s. And I really like it because each rune represents a verb. So you're pulling actions out of the bag instead of vague concepts for interpretation. And it sounds like a lot of fun, and I want to do it. And I went to Etsy, and Etsy failed me. It's the first time Etsy has truly, completely failed me. No one is making runes, this kind of rune set. No one. It's not
Wow.
on Etsy at all. So I'm going to have to make my own. And I was like, I could just paint them on, and I'm like, I really want a nice set where they're like actually burned in and stuff. So I'm gonna start playing around with that again, and I'm very excited. So that's gonna be here shortly, and who knows, maybe I'll get really into it again because I used to make a lot of crazy things with it. Because with a nice hardwood, you can do a lot of sculpting with it.
Mhm.
Because you can really burn out really intricate patterns. And I used to make little statuettes and stuff. When I
Uh-huh.
was a kid, I'd buy hardwood dowels and make like little figurines and stuff. And it's been so long, I don't expect to be good at it right off the bat because it's been a while. But I am really looking forward to playing around with it again. I'm also
Nice.
excited to have kind of a creative outlet because I keep being dumb and not getting
See, oh, it
credit.
was doing it right there. I'm
I've caught it a couple times.
gotcha.
Hello, Jenna. But yeah, I'm the way I know that I will be able to do this is when I brought it up because I told Brian about this. I was like, and so we're gonna need to find because I want these kind of coin-sized things, and he immediately was like, there's a drill bit I could get where I could make those for you. And you could just see he loves woodworking. Like that's his favorite thing in the world is having excuses to pull out his power tools and do the woodworking. So he was asking all kinds of questions like, what kind of wood do you want them made out of? Da, 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 da. So I'm definitely going to have stuff to be able to do this with because I think he's already ordered himself the bits so that he can just get a piece of wood and just nick, 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 and make me the coins. Oh. So with his enthusiasm, this is definitely a thing I'm going to be doing. But yeah, I'm very excited about it because I have not had a good crafty hobby in a while.
Yeah, I've definitely become obsessed with crochet. As my most recent Substack article will alert everyone, because I have like half a dozen patterns listed that I made just over the past couple weeks since the last time I wrote the post about wanting to learn how to crochet. Now I'm making clothes already. Like, what is this?
So I have bought several books of crochet patterns because I would like to go to there. I really would like to play around with that and do some of that. And again, I keep forgetting to buy yarn. And like I was saying, the one reason why I know that this will happen is for any of the projects that I want to do, I am going to need wood cut in particular shapes and sizes. And so anytime I talk about a thing I'm interested in doing, Brian's probably going to go get the wood and make the blanks for me to work on, just because it's an excuse to turn on his power tools and do a little bit of the woodwork that makes him so happy. So there's a pipeline there to guarantee resources for the things that I am wanting to do. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. That's awesome. I tried to get Brian to knit when I was doing a lot of knitting, and he was just like, no, I have video games. So, yeah, I need something that's not... My outlet is creative writing. Like, this is what I do, like how my mind works. And the problem is, if you do that all day, every day, like, I need to unwind. Maybe I'll write a story. Like, your brain just goes on strike.
Yeah.
You can't do that. I need other things. I've been doing a lot of artwork lately, and that is nice, but doesn't always give me the relaxation, because I can be quite a perfectionist when I'm doing things. So
Spence just bought 9 more skeins of blanket yarn.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I want to get, like, when I do decide to start knitting, I'm going to have to find, just if for nothing else, to have something to hug and to hold, those giant skeins that Megan got.
Oh, yeah.
Because if nothing else, I have a new plushie. Oh, I do have a new plushie to hug. Look what he's here! I forgot to show everybody. My emotional support demon has arrived. It's so cute with that camera. There we go. With that toe beans and everything. It's so cute. And it's actually softer than the other plushies I've gotten from Makeship, which really freaks me out, because I thought that the other ones were the softest plushies I had ever encountered in my life. But this one is so, like, oh my, it's so soft. It's so soft, and it's very huggable. It's very huggable. I'm so excited.
Oh.
And again, not sponsored or anything, but if anybody wanted a mango, he's going to be selling these again. So if you check out the Clicks channel, I think next month, these go on sale again. The only difference between this one and the new ones is when you turn them down on the belly, it's going to have a 2 in the belly, so that you know which run it is.
That's cool.
They're going to be selling mangoes again. So if anybody wanted a cute little land shark, again with the toe beans, like, these are going to be going back on sale too. And I make nothing for that, because every time Click does a plushie, I lose money, because I have a plushie addiction. Wasn't allowed to have them when I was a kid, and I'm an adult now, and I have all of them. Well, not all of them. There's still some I want, but yeah, perfection and play do not mix well. They really don't, and that's problematic with me and, like, doing the drawings and stuff. Yeah, and that's why I feel like with the wood burning, you have to be relaxed. There's no perfectionism in wood burning. It's why I got into it when I was a kid, because you can't be a perfectionist, because the wood grain is going to guide you a little bit on top of just, the weight of the tool and everything. There's less ability to be that precise. You know what I'm saying? Because wood's going to do what wood's going to do. And so you have to give in more and let yourself do. So I can do the art stuff I'm wanting to do, but hopefully without some of the additionals on top. Awesome. Alrighty. So, because I am me and we are doing this again, I thought it would be fun to do. If I can hit all the buttons. A race.
Ooh, I'm gonna
And
be the T Rex because yeah.
yeah, 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 it really is. And watercolor drives me batty because I'm very bad at controlling the amount of, like, I think I know how much water's on my brush, and I'm always wrong. And 100% of the time, I am always wrong. I am never right. And I either have too much or too little, and I don't get the effect that I'm wanting. I'm yeah. All right. So we are going to be starting our first sprint. Hey, wait a minute. I have a thing for that. So we're going to be starting the first sprint, and oh, I'm always in a Star Wars place, so I will take the ATST for this one because I'm not quite sure that that's a monster, but they included it, so why not? Um, Alrighty, so make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Make sure that you have something to hydrate with. If you need to just stare at a wall and daydream, that's okay. Because remember, self care is productivity for writers. And I think I've said all of the things. Well, let's go ahead and get started on the sprint in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and oh, oh, music. Will you go down and stay there? There we go. Don't pick Godzilla. Godzilla wins. Wouldn't you know? I mean, that's just par for the course, isn't it? That just makes too much sense. So, how did everybody do?
I did nothing. I was on Ravelry looking for my next crochet project, so I was sort of productive, but not really productive. It was a thing.
I feel you. I got one more episode scheduled on the Substack, which if you want to read along with the stories, you can go over to projectshadow.com, and all of the text is there to read, as well as the podcast. If you want to subscribe to hear in whatever your favorite podcast app is. I am surprised that 4% of the listeners for this podcast are in Iran, which just, I hope they're safe, because I'd feel like this isn't government approved. Like the content that I'm making with the magic furries and stuff just doesn't feel like something that you would expect would be safe to listen to in a country with a government like theirs. So be safe, all of the listeners out there in Iran. Or you can watch, I've been putting videos of them up here on the channel, and I've got the next sprint, I will upload the video for that to get it scheduled over here. And then on to the next one, because that is the process for the day. So Sage showed up in chat. Power outages are still a thing, which is sad, but I'm good to hear that things are at least going as well as can be expected. Because yeah. I mean, my life has been okay. It's been good. It's been fine. It's just been really, 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 really busy. Because who would have known taking a job would add so much to your schedule? And I say that facetiously because I have been in groups like this before, and usually it's just like nothing. And I did not have expectations to actually be doing stuff, which just shows how low my bar was for a lot of this. Yes, Sage. But yeah, it's been a lot more. Yeah, it is, because I'm not used to being listened to, which is weird to say, because I do like podcasts and streams and videos and all that kind of stuff, but usually when I'm in with a group of people and I suggest a thing, it's very often, especially around a group of neurotypicals, it's like, oh, that's an interesting idea, we're gonna do this, and not having people being like, oh yeah, let's do that. Yeah, do that. Wait, now I have to do it? Okay. I mean, you're all right. I suggested it. I guess I have to do it. But yeah, I was not expecting. It's a lot of good stuff. I feel like when I talk about this, people might take me wrong, in what I'm saying. But yeah, it's been a lot more work than I anticipated going in, but very, very rewarding and very happy about it. Wait, what? They turned off Scientology's power? Wait, what? I have so many questions.
My phone just notified me of the stream. And then my computer just notified me that it's World Bear Day.
I'm too gay for that knowledge. I am just too queer for that knowledge, because I'm just like, wow. Gotta celebrate them bears. Oh, oh my. Yeah. I'm sure they mean like actual bears.
They mean actual like orso kind of
Yeah.
bears, but
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just too queer for this world sometimes because yeah, I just was like, I didn't know bears got their own holiday. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, but still. Oh. I wasn't the only one. Yay! Yeah. So apparently, the electric company in South Africa came and shut them off. Wow. Oh, wow. That's a big power
Wow,
bill.
that is a huge power bill.
Well, that auditing equipment does have electricity running through it, so I can see them using for that and other things. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's wow. Yeah. I have work to do. I don't need to do a deep dive into South African Scientology. I don't need to do a deep dive into South Africa and Scientology. This is not. Just breathe. Just breathe. It's fine. We're gonna stay on target. We're gonna stay on target.
Focused.
We're gonna use the force. We're gonna stay on target. We're gonna blow this Death Star up. All right. See, Sage wasn't aware of that. You don't follow the news. Yeah, I feel you on that. I have been following the news way more than I should, which is why my anxiety levels are at nightmare fuel levels, because it may be illegal soon for me to leave the house unless I go into full boy mode before leaving the house.
What do you have to do? Like draw on a mustache or something?
They're
I
trying.
joke, but it's a serious topic. But.
Yeah, they're trying to pass a law right now in the state house that would make it illegal to appear in public in clothes not typical for the gender you were assigned at birth.
That's dumb.
It's part of their anti-trans, anti-drag thing.
Yeah.
And that's going on in the country right now. That is just insane. And so, you know, I
But in my last post, I did have a crocheted mustache pattern in case you need one.
So, like, in a testament to the fact that I have the best straight friends in the area, so many of them have been messaging me going, if this all gets passed, I'm going to buy a dress and go to Walmart.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to walk around until they arrest me. And I'm just like, more power to you. I do not have the CPU cycles to deal with this. So I may be friendless in the not too distant future because they may all be in jail because they were protesting on our behalf. But that it's a good reason, and it's a bad reason, but it's a supportive community. I'm just saying, I've got some nice supportive people around. But yeah, I got to pay attention to the news because I need to make sure I don't want to. I get harassed enough leaving the house. I don't need to bring police officers into it. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Scientology is an insane thing. Not like just that it persists. Like L. Ron Hubbard was intense. And I can only imagine that I don't want to cast aspersions upon him because I don't want to get sued by the Church of Scientology, but the fact that he was known for pitching a book, locking himself into a hotel room overnight, and then coming out the next morning bleary-eyed with a 50,000 word manuscript. I'm just saying, this sounds like there were artificial enhancements involved in the production of a lot of his content. I think I'm safe from. That's too many aspersions if I say it that way. The saga continues. Alrighty, Sage. Okay, so you say this, but I have a friend who spent 6 years fighting off lawsuits from the Church of Scientology because of disparaging things that she said about them online. So whether or not they can actually win a lawsuit, this is America, and you can sue about just about anything. So I get very circumspect around Scientology because I did it now. I done did it now.
You cross paths with one of my like current special interests. Scientology can technically sue you for saying horrible, mean things about Scientology, like that they're a abusive, family destroying, human trafficking cult. However, if they do sue you, you can have the current leader, David Miscavige, deposed.
And I can ask where Shelley is.
Wasn't he missing too?
No, he's in hiding.
Oh.
He was trying to hide from process servers so he can't get sued.
Where's Shelley? Where's Shelley? Sorry.
Right. Like, and really, Shelley Miscavige is not technically missing. It's just really fun to razz him about that because he's a piece of shit.
Yes.
And he's a very tiny little elf-sized man. But if they sue you, they're the aggressors, and he has no rights to be protected from being deposed. And from what I understand, once you're deposed, they can ask any kind of question on the stand, and it would just destroy the entire organization, just like flat out.
That is, as I understand it, how she got out of the lawsuit, because she had said some things very specifically about Miscavige and was like, well, then we need to ask him questions to prove that I did in fact defame him, and kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and they finally dropped the suit. But
yeah, like they've never won years. And I don't remember what year it was, but it was not all that long ago that the last time they sued someone, and she went on the stand to testify because they tried to depose her, and she started talking, and like after 20 minutes of her talking, they called recess, pulled the whole thing, and wrote her a massive "please go away" check.
My friend did not get a check from them, which is sad because she could have used it because she's got an adorable kid, and it would have been great to have them have a much cushier life. But yeah, she got into a very cult bustery place for a while, and I'm not saying that Scientology is technically a cult. I mean, allegedly, but that's what they went after her for, was for using that term, because they are a church, damn it. And I'm like, yeah, and the church that I belonged to in Maryland was technically a church as well, but they got very, very like hostile if you did anything outside the groupthink.
Yeah, there's this YouTube channel called Growing Up in Scientology that posts like every day about this sort of thing, and it's like every day I get to watch it, and it's so fun because he has no fucks to give. He used to be in Scientology. He used to be in the Sea Org, and he has a hate website about him that Scientology manages that they just redid and got more of his family members who don't talk to him anymore to say horrible, mean lies about him. And he's like, the worst thing that they could do to me, they've already done. And it's just, what are they going to do now? They sent out letters to one of his friends' business. Like one of his friends, Mark Headley, has a media business. And Scientology went through and found everyone on his website that had like left a review or whatever, and sent them emails and formal letters being like, you should not work with him anymore because he's a bigoted piece of shit who gets drunk all the time. And several of those people were like, we had no idea that we had worked with him previously and we are in need of his services again. So he got more business because they tried to like
Oh, the power of Streisanding.
uh-huh. And like that's all they do. Is
Yeah.
their whole thing is like they have to do something to try to like make your life harder, and they can't do it right.
Like I have, oh man, just so many thoughts about them and other organizations that are currently going on in the country that might not to like spread the fascination, but I am rather obsessed with weird cultic movements in the country because I live not too far from the Bear Mountain cult, and they absolutely terrify me. They literally worship guns. They have AR-15s on their altars and believe that the AR-15 is the rod of iron prophesized in the Bible to bring about the end of time, the end of days. So to become a member, you have to own one.
That is fascinating.
Yeah, they're out around Branson. So if you know anybody who's ever like wanting to go to Branson, number one, all of the good theaters closed after the tornadoes, so just don't. Like they got blown away by the wind, and everybody was like, we'll go to Vegas. And so, like anything that was actually good there left after the tornadoes went through quite a few years back. But also, they're known for randomly stopping people and robbing them on the road, and that's how they fund themselves. But they're so heavily armed, they kind of get away with it.
That's kind of why I like the Scientology rabbit hole, because like Scientologists aren't my neighbors.
Yeah,
they're creepy evangelist cults could be my neighbors.
Yeah, this is more of a safety thing to keep up with them because they keep spreading. Because they started on Bear Mountain, which is why they're called that, but they have compounds all over the place now. Because of course they're spreading, of course, but they're the next name to watch out for because eventually, like it's going to be one of those Ruby Ridge, David Koresh stories on the news. So you've heard about them early, so that when the showdown finally does happen, because they do something unthinkable, you're like, oh yeah, that's that group that Charlie's been talking about.
And really, for them, the unthinkable is going to be like it's going to end up being something like tax evasion.
Oh, most definitely, because I know that their religious standing has been brought into question. Because our country is weird when it comes to religion, because you do get a tax exempt status, and it is kind of a carte blanche. Like you can kind of technically just be like, I am a church, and most places will leave you alone. You do technically need to file for a 501c3, I think it is, exemption, especially if you want the tax card so that you don't have to pay sales tax and stuff as well. But just in general, you can kind of just say, just do some hand wavium and be like, no, we're a church, it's fine. But if anybody challenges you on it, it's good to have the piece of paper to be like, and the government said we are. Mm-hmm. And so somebody has challenged their existence as a not-for-profit. So and so it begins.
Well, even if they are a church, like the financial crimes in general is what apparently the federal government really likes, because it's really easy to get the evidence for that and like convict on that compared to like all kinds of other things.
And I'm not going to say anything more about this. I'll just say that I know very much firsthand that the IRS is messed up and has the worst bookkeepers in the history of bookkeeping.
Yeah.
Just the absolute. I don't know if it's the software that they're using or how, or the way things get put into the system, but it's yeah, it's messed up. So there's a reason why they have so many investigators out there.
So I'm on Ravelry and I just found you know that game that Noah plays, the Cult of the Lamb?
Hmm.
They have a lamb cult leader plushie thing that you can crochet and it
Oh
looks
my gosh.
so cute. Let me hold on. Let me open it on this computer real quick.
A friend of mine has been knitting nightmare plushies lately, and they are so adorable. And I'm hoping I can get him to make one for me because they're quite literal nightmares. They're like little anthropomorphic horse plushies, but they're mostly like charred black. And he's using this ombre yarn so that their manes and tails look like they're made of fire. And he's also using that for their on their hands and feet, so that they look like a cinder that's got burning edges. They're gorgeous. They're so pretty. And I actually have the hand from his test one, which we refer to as our monkey's paw because the cats absolutely love it. But this was his test.
Here is
So
the
cute.
lamb cult leader.
That is so cute.
That is fantastic. I love it so much.
There we go.
So this was his test hand that he made when he was playing around with getting the dripping pattern
Oh, that's fun.
just right on it. And when he brought it over to show it to me, the cats absolutely loved it. So we put it on a drumstick so that we can't get attacked by the cat. And this is like their favorite toy in the world to play with. So if you have cats and can crochet, just crochet yourself a basic hand, put it on a drumstick or a dowel, and yeah. Because they go back and forth between really liking to like rub their cheeks up on it and like get scratches from it, and then just attacking it, and you don't have to worry about getting bit or clawed by the cat, but you can have all the fun cat play.
Nice.
Because it's a bit bigger, because it's smaller than my hand and a little bit bigger than theirs, but they're not scared of it, and it's like their favorite cat toy in the world. But I suppose maybe we should do some more works.
Okay, I'm gonna use it as my cue to dip back out because that was all of my outside energy for the day.
Well, I'm glad that you did show up for a second.
Yes, it was lovely seeing you. Or not seeing you.
I mean, technically, there is a picture of her right there.
Yes.
So,
And those earrings that you're wearing in that picture are adorable.
Thank you. They were clip-ons that my grandma left me when she died.
Oh,
Aw.
nice.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Alrighty. So, if I go back to Godzilla now, he's never gonna win. So I'm just gonna stick with my ATST
T-Rex.
because I don't know. I'm in a Star Warsy place. Alrighty, so make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Make sure that you have something to hydrate with. If you need to get up and move around, don't forget to do so. And we are going to get started on this sprint in a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, 1, and go. Oh, that jaunty run at the beginning cracks me up. I should have picked him. Godzilla won again. It's mocking me now. What? Oh my. I agree, doggy. I agree. The race was stolen by the Godzilla. All right. So, how did everybody do? I edited more audio for an episode of the Shadow Phoenix Saga. Dude, your engine needs to be checked. Sorry. Oh, that's a very loud car. I don't know what the mic picked up, but wow. Very, very loud chirping sound coming from that car's engine. So yeah, I edited some more audio for an episode of the Shadow Phoenix Saga after I got another video uploaded and scheduled for the YouTubes. And I remembered to schedule the Instagram post, so I don't have to have a panic. Oh, I forgot to do the Instagram post. That's the things out. So, huzzah!
Woo! So I took the dogs out because it was that time of day, and they were butts, but that's usual. So then I was on Ravelry looking for patterns, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have ChatGPT write my pattern for me. So it's currently it just finished writing the pattern for a tank top. And I'm curious. I'm very curious because it doesn't seem like it would make anything.
I don't know.
I want to see what it would do. Someday I'm going to try it out, but not today.
That's a fascinating idea because it can write code, and a crochet pattern is essentially code. So, I mean, it has the skill set built into it. I just don't know if that skill set applies to crochet and knit patterns.
It didn't finish the assembly part, but I can assume how you would assemble it. But the front and the back don't really match. And I don't know if that's like supposed to, like, if it's gonna turn out correct.
I've been playing around with ChatGPT a lot. I got my invite to be invited to check out Google's Bard, which is their ChatGPT, their version of ChatGPT. I haven't gotten my actual "you're in" yet. I say that. Let me double check my email real quick because I feel like in saying that it's just sitting there, like it arrived when I wasn't looking. Nope. No, I did not. But Brian was asking me all kinds of questions about that and how I thought about it, and you know what my initial reads were, and because of some of the ways that I've been using it, because I've been using it a lot as a brainstormer, where I'll be like, so what would this look like? What would that look like? What if we changed this? What if this was different? You know, that kind of, been using it a lot for just kind of working through thoughts in my brain. And the way I explained it to him is, this is the closest I've ever felt to having the computer from Star Trek. Like, it's not quite there, but it's the closest I've ever felt to that, where like you'd be watching an episode and they'd be like, computer model blah 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 blah, and then all of a sudden the screen comes on and there it is, you know. And I thought I would be much older by the time I could have that kind of an interaction with a computer. And you know, the thing that gets me really excited to see how these things are developing is, my childhood dream was to have that Star Trek computer where you have a thing in your mind, you're trying to like wrestle with it and figure it out, and you have the ability to just kind of pre-visualize that. Let me just visualize that immediately. And like I said, it's not quite ready yet. Like, it's not ripe. it's early days. Like this is
Mhm.
for the original series Star Trek, where you're like computer, blah blah blah, and it's like I will do something in a moment, processing, and then it's like kind of okay, and you just turn to Mr. Spock and go, "Can you just do this better?" Um, but I can see how it could get to that place, and I'm kind of excited about it. It it makes me happy. And I know it's like terrifying a lot of people for various reasons, but I will say if you are the kind of person that thinks that Chat GPT is going to put writers out of business, go to Chat GPT, type in, write a story about, and give it a seed. Just give it a prompt, like find a prompt site and copy and paste that story prompt into it, and then read the story that it writes. We're good. We're fine. At least at the moment, we are
For
not in
now.
danger.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't understand surprise. It doesn't understand it can kind of understand pacing. Like Lex does a better job with pacing, but still the story that because they just added the ability where you can type in create a first draft about blah 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 blah. It just does,
Mhm.
and it does. It is whatever, like it is a -5 draft, like where I know some of us work on 0 drafts for our early stuff. It's doing kind of a -5 draft, but it does help get rid of blank page syndrome. But yeah, the only people I think might need to worry about losing their job is the poor unfortunate souls who have to rewrite press releases so that they read differently on different websites,
Yeah.
which is an annoying job to begin with. It is horrible grunt work, and a lot of what passes as news is, and you really don't need a human involved in, okay, you're rewriting a story exactly the way it is, just phrasing it differently. Like it's just paraphrase this story in a way that it can appear on our news site. Yeah, that'll probably be taken over by robots like this, if it hasn't been already and we just didn't know. But it's yeah. It's a nightmare. I used to when I see early 2000s, we ran a fandom site kind of like we IO9 and sites like that. Actually, we were doing things before then and actually did some collabs with them in the early days because we were at the time a little bit bigger than them. And a lot of what the job was a movie studio would send you a press release with some pictures, and you would, for the news article version of it, all you did was rewrite their press release and include the pictures to be like, this movie is coming out, blah 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 blah. And it's mind numbing, and it's so, oh god, I hated it.
The ones that I really hated were similar, but it was the articles that I'd have to write that were based on other articles that were created solely to, like, if a CEO or something had bad press going out, this was the content that they were pushing out to, like, cover up that bad news with, like, positive good
Yeah.
news. And I hated it because I
Mhm.
hated being that person. Like, I hated spinning that stuff, and I couldn't do it. I only did like 3 articles, and then I'm like, no more. I can't morally do this.
But also, like, I feel the same way when it comes to like a lot of the like AI art stuff. Like everybody's gonna have so much art. Like I've been using Midjourney for a while now, and you have to be super specific. I mean, super specific with what you want to get anything even remotely like what you're wanting to have it do. And even then, you'll have to generate and regenerate and regenerate and like keep
Mhm.
tinkering with the thing to get it to get close, and then do iterations and stuff. It's not quite as simple as people are making it out to be, to get good, decent quality imagery out of it. And if you're not, if you didn't know, because the all of the thumbnails for the Shadow Phoenix Saga have been made, the image itself has been made in Midjourney. So, but it takes a lot of energy and effort to get it to understand what I'm what I'm talking about, because you can clearly see that it was designed to make clip art. Like it's stock photo generator. And when you're like, I need a dragon, and it's like, oh, what now? And if you think hands have been a problem, which Midjourney 5 can actually count fingers, which is crazy. So like,
Art Breeder has been getting better for me about hands and like eyes. I'm like, whoa, this is getting weird because they're actually turning out humanish
but when you
ish.
ask one of these things to make a dragon, it often does not understand that they should be unitary creatures.
Oh yeah.
And so their wings are either floating off their body or are in weird places on their body.
Mhm.
I've seen wings in some places that have given me nightmares. Like wings are the new tentacles. I'm just saying. It does weird things. It does crazy weird things. Yeah, it really reminds me a lot of like nobody's ever going to paint again. You know, watercolors will die out. Yeah, it like I said, there are some people who are making like really middling lo-fi music that isn't all that creative. That yeah, you should worry. I've listened to some of the music generators that are out there, and it can generate. I'm fine to have that in the background. It's not going to be distracting, and just give me kind of a pulse to keep working at. Lo-fi music, it's not doing anything else. Like, oh, it's everything else is like nightmare fuel for the ears. And who knows, it might eventually get there. There's the one that will create Simlish songs in the style of an artist that you tell it to, and it does sound like what if a demon possessed your Sims and decided to make it sound like Robert Plant? Like I've heard some samples off of this thing, and the voices are so in the uncanny valley, and it doesn't understand language at all. They've spent no time with the language model at all in it. So it's just generating weird grunts and whistles and wiggly, like weird Simlish style sounds. Like, yeah, things are being a little bit overhyped at the competence with which they're able to function. But yeah, I remember when people were talking about Jurassic Park and T2 is like, this is the end. And no, the end of entertainment is going to be one of the many controversies that's going on around the new Shazam movie right now. Like that's the end of content creation right there. Like I see the end of everything I hold dear, with all the people that are like, well, I don't know if this is going to matter in continuity, so I don't know if I want to see it. Dude, if you're only watching it to answer test and trivia questions, go home. Like, just stay home. Like, do you want to see the movie or not? This is the easiest pass-fail question in the world. Do you want to see a movie? Do you want to see this movie? If no, go do something else. Like, you shouldn't be like, I don't know if this is going to help me win a trivia night or be able to actually somebody about how the DCEU works. So I don't know if I actually want to see. What are you even doing? Like, what are you doing in your life? And I see those discussions, and there are a nightmare number of those discussions going on around that movie. And I'm just like, look, we can talk about like,
It's that whole efficiency mantra that people have, like that take the people that take it like super seriously. Ooh, they're kind of creepy. They
And like, look,
take it to a whole new level.
I love deep diving into a thing. Like, my love of Star Wars is, something I wear on my sleeve. Like, we read the books, I read the comics because I love this world. I love a lot of the writers that are working in this world. Chuck Soule has done some great books in this setting. Like, some of the best sci-fi I've read in a long time has actually been written by Chuck Soule for the High Republic series. And I really enjoy it. But at the same time, I really don't care if any of that's ever going to be brought into the movies or the TV shows. Like, it's kind of like a neat treat. Like, when they gave Omega a light bow in the Bad Batch, I got really excited because I remember reading those in the books and I was like, oh my goodness, those are so cool. Why have we never seen those in animation or in the live action? And then finally they gave one to Omega, and I'm like, oh, it looks as cool as I wanted it to look. Yeah, it was a treat. It wasn't like this entire thing's ruined because I'm never going to see a light bow in, yeah, get over yourself. That's not what entertainment is for. It should be entertaining first. If you're not entertained, just go away. Find something that is entertaining. Life's short, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's so true question for that media is socially relevant for me. Yeah. And that's really upsetting because as somebody who loves writing sci-fi and fantasy and who loves reading sci-fi and fantasy, like, I got really concerned, and we debated for a long time whether or not to call Raid Book 0 or Book 1. And my argument for naming it Book 0 is it is outside of the main continuity of the story. The actual main characters we don't meet until Book 1. All of these characters are in the series going forward. So that it's not like we'll never meet these characters again. It's just this is kind of a side quest prelude to the rest of it. And I knew the moment we called it Book 0, or if I called it a prelude, no one would pay attention to it because people are annoying. And it's a fun story. It's got a lot of neat stuff in it, which is why I decided to take the time and energy to write it. But yeah, I knew going into this, like, those continuity police are going to be like, well, do I have to know any of the information in here? Well, yeah, because I'm really not going to spend way too much time explaining some aspects of the characters in later books because it's explained in full here. There'll be like a sentence or a little paragraph kind of alluding to why things are the way they are. But like, you can literally go back and read it. I don't need to have that Tolkien-esque 3 pages of backstory of like, and here's why this character's eyes look the way that they do. And yeah, that's actually a thing, but spoilers.
But you gotta explain the trees. Come on.
But this is the only book that will actually give you a sense of why the apocalypse comes. Because initially, book 1 starts as the apocalypse begins. And this is the what the world looked like before then. So you have something to compare the rest of it to and everything. But yeah, I'm just, this canon policing is just obnoxious to me. What happened to the Blue Mages? Yeah. Just, I love genre fiction with my entire heart. I really do. But so help me, if I have another person say, but why are there black elves? I might get violent. Like, I might get hostile. There will at least be yelling. There will at least be shouting. The only serious critique I have of the whole of the appearance of the characters in the Rings of Power show is I wish the female dwarf had a beard. I do wish that was a thing because that actress would have rocked it and it would have been fierce.
Hi, Kat.
They did give her big sideburns, but they cover it up with her hair a lot. So you can tell like she does actually have a beard. She just shaves this part of it. Like, they didn't do that much, but like that actress would have rocked a beard because she's one of the best parts of that show. Just saying, like she's she's amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop over to Coffee Bunny in just a bit.
Yeah, I'm not going to be streaming for much longer. I was probably going to do one more sprint and then end this. Well, I was planning on ending it too, and it is later than I thought. So I might go ahead and end this now because it is almost 2. Because my goal was to fit in right at that Jules slot, but on a Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. It's been a day. I'm going to continue working on my stuff. This will probably be a more regular thing. Unless there are interventions because life is crazy.
So crazy, it just might work.
Yeah. It's so if everything stays the way I'm wanting it to, on Thursdays, at Jules's normal streaming times on, I'm going to be doing this on Thursdays going forward because I miss doing the productivities. I miss hanging out with y'all. I miss doing stuff on AuthorTube. So that's the plan there. Hopefully, if I have the energy, this Saturday will be the first of the I'm probably going to be burned alive as a heretic for it Bible studies over on Creation's Path. I have been preparing for this. I have a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, and just kind of like getting ready for the hate messages that will definitely flow in, because I can't make a video. Like, my time to turfdom ratio right now is about an hour and a half after I post a video for the first hate comment to just randomly appear on it. And that window has been getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And that's definitely going to make that one's definitely going to ruffle some feathers. So
I would guess Coffee Bunny.
yeah, so Coffee Bunny will be starting a little bit over on Twitch, and you're simulcasting again, right? So it'll be on both Cat and Lori's channel. I meant for that to be what I did on this one, but I forgot to flip the switch when I did it. So starting next Thursday, anybody who joins will be able to simulcast to their channels.
Cool.
Bring more people in. I actually forgot that that's a thing that StreamYard could do until I just remembered that Gloria and Kat have been doing that for Coffee Bunny, because I don't think a lot of people want a Valheim stream on their channel, which is why I have not been doing that one. Plus, I'm kind of glad I didn't last week because we had to go back through and edit out some things that Brian said. He was naughty. He said, but yeah. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and end this here. Thank you all so much. Hopefully we can make this more of a regular routine, and I will get back into the habit of doing the things. And I will probably see you over on Coffee Bunny Cafe. You can follow all of these people. Their links should be in the doobly-doo down below. And if not, you can go to projectshadow.com, and all of their Substacks are linked from mine. And you should be reading them. You should definitely be reading them. There's some stuff over there that you should definitely be reading. Especially a little side quest story that Carrie's writing that I'm getting kind of into. Anyway, until next time, bye.